Okay, actually, I just have one more article, and it's a great pleasure to introduce our other state fellow, who is Mei-Ling Rodham. And one of her tasks with us is to produce the By the Numbers. And so she's going to give that report. But Mei-Ling, we're delighted to have you. She's just been with us a couple of very short weeks, but is already having a very big impact and keeping us in line. So Mei-Ling, maybe you could just introduce yourself and give a little background on what you hope to get out of your experience with us this next year.
Is that on?
Oops.
No, it's not on.
A little bit about my background.
Oh, it's still not on.
I think that's right.
Okay. Okay. I'm currently finishing up my master's degree in natural resources with a concentration in fisheries at Humboldt State University. I earned my bachelor's of science degree at UC Santa Cruz in marine biology, where I studied harmful algal blooms. In between getting my 2 degrees, I worked with Fish and Wildlife, State Fish and Wildlife, doing salmonid surveys in the Klamath River Basin and the Smith River Basin. Along those lines, my interests are in fisheries and the ecology of harmful algal blooms. So I'll just start summarizing. I believe the second attachment is By the Numbers. And in terms of water storage, the numbers got bumped up in early February with that rain we had, but not by much. Precipitation, this little bump in precipitation we got also, well, it took us from the driest year on record to about the 3rd driest year on record. And I have a slight revision. The statewide snow water content, the latest number for that is 24% of normal for this state. So I apologize about that. In terms of Delta operations, the projects were able to pump some water in early February, but now pumping has dropped to low levels. For fish, the bottom line is that smelt numbers were not good. But on the plus side, smelt have not been near the pumps, so they haven't been being entrained. And that's pretty much it. Any questions?
Any questions, Mei-Ling? I want to personally compliment you. This By the Numbers document report, it's been a work in progress.
Still is.
And I will share for others, when you and I first met, I observed that it's a report that's provided interesting information, but the way it was previously organized, it wasn't always as meaningful as it could be because the information was so scattered. And I offered the suggestion, maybe it could be organized in a little more orderly manner. And you responded, and I just want to say thank you. You're off to a great start.
Great. I'm glad you noticed.
Anything else, Phil?
I wanted to join in the praise of the formatting of the report, but just to ask you a question. Only in the Delta operations do you not have a parentheses explicit comparison for Clifton Court Forebay for comparison to normal or previous date? And what I thought one of the strengths of your approach on this overall chart was flagging it by color, but also providing the percent information of normal or average or whatever you're measuring. Why not that on the Delta operations? So Delta operations, Clifton Court, inflow 700.
Are you talking about the little dot? Or?
Well, you've characterized that as percent of average of 0 to 25% by use of the color red.
Oh, I see.
But elsewhere you have, at least in the other 3 categories, you have compared it to whatever you're measuring, the average, the smelt stuff you're measuring for last year. Just a note. That's all.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about why I don't have the actual percentage written on there?
Yeah.
Pretty much there isn't really a long-term average that I can find, like a specific number. And it kind of involves...
Is it a meaningful question to compare it to an average?
Sort of. I mean, these are actually kind of daily averages, so obviously they fluctuate. And I would have to get that specific average, I would have to hand calculate it. And I don't know how useful that might be, to be honest.
Okay.
So that's why I don't
Take
have
a look
that.
at it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Thanks.
Great. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Welcome aboard. Peter, anything else?
No, I think that's it for now.
I just wanted to make sure. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for that comprehensive report. Councilmember Eisenberg, I believe you had a comment you wanted to make.
Members, you may have seen a mysterious lady sitting in front photographing you all. She is not the Central Intelligence Agency, but that is Chris Austin, who is the organizer of Maven's Notebook. So, all the summaries of meetings that the Delta Protection Commission does and the Council does are her work, and she normally watches on simulcast complaining about our reception all the time, but actually showed up today, I think, because she was at the conference yesterday, or will be at the conference yesterday. So if you haven't met her at the break, you ought to just say hi. She's providing a lot of benefit these days.
Chris, welcome. Thanks for stopping in. And now